Today's video is sponsored by Anglo Agriparts. More on them later. This is our Fordson Dexta. Quite a few of you will have seen it in previous videos. It's been requested quite a lot that I do more videos on it, so here they are. This tractor, we've owned it for about 8, 9, 10 years, and we've only ever serviced it once. I know it's bad, but we've only ever actually changed the filters on it once. We've topped the oil up obviously, but I think it's due an oil change. I'm sure if you've seen the previous videos, you've seen how dark the oil is, so you can agree it needs an oil change. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. The kind folks over at Anglo Agriparts said, "Sam, that's not very good. We think we can help you out." So they sent me some filters for this tractor. And this is what they sent me. They sent me the Fordson filter kit. So it's got an oil and a fuel filter, everything you need to service this tractor. The part number for this kit is A68266. I'll be putting links to everything in the description below. Anything you see in this video that you might need, say you've got a Dexta at home and you're thinking, oh, mine needs a service, look in the description below and I'll provide links to everything I've used in this video. So I'll unbox the filters now just so you can get a look at the quality of the filters. Now, as you can see, it says Anglo Agriparts on it, so they're their own branded filters. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Let's see what this one's like. If I can do it one-handed. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a good filter. That's solid, that. Because I know you get some of them and they feel really like weak and cheap. This feels quality. Yeah, I'm happy to put this in my tractor. Definitely. And you get an O-ring to seal the filter. So we'll just crack on with it. So I've had the tractor running because obviously we're going to be doing an oil change and you don't want the oil to be thick because it's quite cold in England at the minute. So I've had the engine running so the oil's nice and warm. It's not hot, it's just nice and warm. So obviously it'll run out a lot easier. So we're going to take the exhaust off. That's hot because I've just had it running. Yeah, I know I need it for this. So I'm going to take the whole bonnet off since we're servicing. So we need to remove the air cleaner. And then this bonnet, they are supposed to be bolted on, but because this is a farm tractor, the bonnet's just placed on, so it does just lift off. But if yours doesn't lift off, don't worry. There is some screws you can undo. So I'll show you. There we have the engine. I have pressure washed this tractor before we brought it into the shop. I'm going to disconnect the battery because I've been taught you shouldn't work on any equipment if the battery is connected. So I'll just disconnect that now. As you can see, I've disconnected the battery. So the next step is to remove the plug from the bottom of the sump. Can you see? I'm going to be removing that so we can drain all the oil out. Now you don't have to, but this is where you fill the oil up on a Dexta. I'm just going to take that cap off just because it should help the oil flow out quicker. Not sure if it'll do out, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because there won't be an airlock then, and then obviously it'll drain out quicker. So we'll get to draining the oil. So for that you're going to need a bucket. Here's my oil bucket. Place it roughly where you think. I'll set the camera up and we'll get to a better angle. Alright, so we're under the tractor. All we're going to be doing is removing this, but hopefully I'm not going to drop it in the bucket. So I'll try and free it off. Oh, that's stiff. It's coming. Right. There's no way you can do this without getting oil on your hands. Right. As you can see, that is pretty black. It's actually really black. So we'll let all that drain out. Then we can get some new oil in. Obviously change the filter first. I'll check the water. I'll have the grease round. And yeah, that'll be the Dexta service. Obviously only took the fuel filter. Cool. Hopefully this bucket's big enough. I think it should be. So yeah. So as you can see, all of that oil is now draining out, and this here is the oil filter, this here is the fuel filter. So we'll do the oil filter first and then we'll tackle the fuel system. So as you can see, there's the oil filter, so we'll get that off next job. While the oil's draining out of there, I'd like to tell you a bit more about our good friends over at Anglo Agriparts. Anglo Agriparts is a family-run tractor parts company based out of Selborne, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Hampshire, UK, it's obviously England. They sell parts for Massey Ferguson's, Perkins, Ferguson, Ford, Fordson, Case, David Brown, Fiat and John Deere, as well as a few other tractors. The water pump, which is on my own TEF Grey Fergie, as you've seen in previous videos, I bought from Anglo Agriparts way before they reached out to me. So that's how you know I trust this company and I actually believe in this company, because I was buying their products way before they decided to sponsor me and send me some filters for the Dexta. Let's say you've got a Grey Fergie like mine, or a Dexta like we see here. For example, your brakes go, you need a new brake kit, boom, Anglo Agriparts have got you. You need new shore seals, boom, Anglo Agriparts. You need filters, Anglo Agriparts. You get what I'm saying. I'll provide links to their company down below in the description so you can go and check it out for yourself. Okay, so the oil seems to have stopped draining, or at least it's just dripping now. So now we'll undo this and we can get the old filter out. Now this is going to be full of oil, so I'm going to have to be careful when I take it off because I don't want to slap oil everywhere because I get told off. So we'll bring this over here. That should be good enough. I've already loosened it for the camera because, you know, got to look good for the tube. Now that's loose. Should be able to undo it with my hand. There we go. And we're out. Just tip that out. There we go. Tit on it. So I've just tied the oil filter housing up so it can drip, because that obviously that's the filter. There's going to be a lot of sludge in there and I want all that sludge to drip out. So whilst that's hanging, I thought, oh, it's going to be draining for a bit, and whilst the tractor's in this stage, I just took the rocker cover off just so I could have an inspection. And I've looked at it all, nothing's loose, it all looks good, nothing looks worn, it's not leaking anywhere. It's all wet, which is a good thing, because you don't want it to not get any oil. So that's looking good. That's something I like to do whilst they're in this stage. Just have an inspection everywhere. Give it a good check over, because this tractor, we use it a lot. As you can see, it's farm clothes. It's not rough condition. It's farm clothes. The engine runs sweet as a nut. It's perfect. This is just a used tractor. It's very handy. We use it for topping. We use the loader for moving hardcore. So we don't get a chance to see it like this often, because most of the time it's working. So it's nice to have a good check round and make sure it's all nice. Alright, so it's been about an hour, so I know now all the oil's out. I have off camera, if you look up there, there's a rubber seal, and I've just pulled it out with my knife, so I'll just pull it out on camera. And that's the rubber seal we're going to replace. So in the kit, you get these two bands, and you only need one if you're doing a Dexta like me. So you're going to find the one that matches up the most, and it's this one. So that's the band I'm going to be replacing it with. It is easier, a little passed down tip that I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but just if you don't know it, if you dip your finger in the oil, rub the oil along here, it gets you a nice good seal. So I'm just going to fit this seal to the housing now. Alright, so I'll now fit this little ring with this tractor having a loader on the front. Oh, that went in easier than I thought, to be fair. Ah, there we go. It's in. It's fitted. So there's a bit of oil here. I just rub that all over this new rubber seal. Only need a little film. And there you go. Oh, let's just get out of here now. I'm stuck. Alright, so now that's done, I've got the cup with an old but clean rag. This is my oil rag. I'm just going to give it a wipe inside here, just to make sure I've got all the gunk from the bottom out. There we go. You can see in there, it's nice and clean. So you're going to want to put your oil filter. There isn't a top or bottom, so you can't get this wrong, but just because it's got the Anglo Agriparts logo there, I'm going to put it in this way. So you can see there's the locating bolt, and there's a hole in the bottom. You just slot it on, just like that. And that's it, that's done. This is ready to be put back on the tractor. Alright, so we're going to fit the new filter now. And we'll just line it up, and it's a simple case of just screwing it in. But when you get to the top, you want to make sure you don't pinch the rubber seal at the top. So if you pinch that rubber seal, you'll be in a mess. just give it a quick, that's nice. So I'll tighten it up now. Some people do prime these, and what I mean by that is they fill it up with oil first, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to top it up from the top and then start the engine, obviously let it fill up and then top it up again. I'll show you. You don't want to put it stupidly tight, but you want it tight enough to where it's not going to fall off. There we go. And that is how to change an oil filter. It's not hard. Yeah. As I said, you don't have to drop the oil when you're changing the oil filter. I just did that because I'm changing the oil in the tractor. I have known some people leave oil in the sump and change this, because all you'll be doing then is changing the oil in the filter. Obviously, before I put oil back in, I need to make sure I've put this plug in, because you'd be surprised how many people forget to put the plug back in. Don't cross thread it, there we go. So that's finger tight, and then we'll tighten it up with the spanner. That's the wrong way. And again, this doesn't want to be stupidly tight, but at the same time it doesn't want to be loose. You want to nip it down, not snug, you want it nipped. You want to get it? There we go, I'd say that's good. So that's all the oil drained out, the filter changed, the O-ring changed, and the plug back in. So it's ready to be filled up with new oil. This is the oil I'm using. It is 20W by 40. Yep. So on a Dexta, you pour the oil in at the top of the rocker, as you can see here. This is where you see if you've done everything tight enough. You know, because you start getting a wet floor. In my case, I get told off. So I'll let that sit for a bit, set it draining. Whilst we're doing this, we'll be checking for leaks. So we've just put the oil in, so we'll be checking around the bottom for leaks, checking around that plug for leaks. As you can see, there's none as of yet, but I'm not going to jinx it, because my luck, it'll start peeing out everywhere. It's gone down, so I'll give it, have a quick look at the dipstick. Nothing on it yet, so it's just working its way down the engine. So I'll fill the jug up again. I won't film it because you've seen it, and I'll get back to you. It's still saying none on the dipstick, so I'll put some more oil in. Let that sit for a bit and drain through. Okay, so I've topped it up with oil, as you can see, clean dipstick. I'll just show you the level, and then I'll explain what we've got to do next. So as you can see, on the dipstick, it is actually above the full line. So before anyone starts freaking out saying you put too much oil in, do you remember at the beginning I said I'm not going to prime the oil pump, I'm going to leave it empty. So at the minute, not oil pump, sorry, I told you wrong. Oil filter. So at the minute, that oil filter is empty. I'm going to start the tractor up, and when I start the tractor up, obviously the oil pump's going to kick in and it'll fill the filter housing. And then I'll check the oil level again, because this will go down quite a bit. Check the oil level again, and then top it up until I'm happy. Or I might not need to top it up, but we'll see. So I'll start the tractor up, obviously put the dipstick back in, and then put this cap on. You don't need to put the rocker cap on, but I don't want to start it without. And then, if you remember before, I took the battery lead off, because you shouldn't really work on tractors when they're connected. So I'm just going to tighten this up, and then we'll start the Dexta up. Okay, so I've just slotted the exhaust back on, as you can see, and we'll start the tractor up. The battery is now connected. See the lights come on, so we'll climb on because I can't do this one-handed. Here we go. So turn the key till the lights show. You have to hold it, so let me see if I can hold the camera. I know what I'll do. I'm going to end part 1 here, guys. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 2, which will be the fuel filter. Once again, a big thank you to Anglo Agriparts